Hey guys, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Hope everyone's having a nice Tuesday. It is June 7th, 2022. My apologies for not doing a video yesterday. My wife has been fighting a little bit of a flu and a sore throat. Just been in bed and the whole weekend. I mean, been Sunday and Monday, so I couldn't do the video. Just been kind of taking care of her, doing stuff around the house and things like that. Obviously, working with the team as always. Been next to her, holding my iPad, watching it all. So. Uh, Nothing has really changed there, but I just couldn't do the video yesterday. My apologies. She is feeling better, which is great. So here I am working from the home office today as we walk into another day in the markets. Let's go ahead and go over it. The Dow is down 276 points pre-market. Nasdaq down 1.35 on futures. S&P down 1% this morning at 40.79. Russell down nearly 1%, 18.71. Crude oil is flat this morning. Imagine that being red. I mean, I haven't seen that in a while. $4.08, down 2.5% for gasoline futures. Gold futures are stable, 0.11% as usual. Silver down 0.76%, was peaking yesterday, up 2%, nearly $22 each on the silver contracts. Euro dollar down about 40 pips, 106.57. Dollar yen, the yen continues to weaken. The weakest currency on the board is the Japanese yen. Actually, no, the Australian dollar being the weakest, the yen being the second weakest, the dollar being the strongest, and the Canadian dollar being the second strongest. If you ever want to take a look at this, if you're a forex trader, what have you, livecharts.co.uk, currency strength. You can always take a look at that. When it comes to forex, guys, I used to trade. That's how I started into trading, was trading forex. And the number one thing you always want to find is strength versus weakness. So according to this chart here, the strength versus weakness, you can go CAD Aussie, you can go CAD yen. For example, CAD is a nice proxy for oil, and you can see how Canadian dollar yen is just boosting and boosting higher even today. That's how much stronger it is. We can go to Canadian dollar Aussie. See if I even have that. Let's see, Aussie Canadian dollar. My apologies, I had it backwards. And you can see how much that's dropped. 0.32%. Aussie being the weakest today, Canadian dollar being the strongest. So again, you always want to go strong versus weak. Take a look at the charts and see what's best for you. So again, a little trading tip when it comes to forex. Just remember that. All right, let's keep it moving here. The dollar, excuse me, the Bitcoin is down now 6.5%, now below 30,000. We did get as high as around 31.8. Chart up on Instagram how they've decoupled a little bit. That Bitcoin needs to get to 35,000 in order to get to that same NASDAQ level that it should be in terms of being close. If you haven't seen that, take a look at our Instagram. I went ahead and posted it. Ethereum down about 6.34% on the futures side as well. 10-year treasuries down today, 30 handle. The dollar index continues to go higher. Again, that's really a big sign to you. The dollar, the yields, the VIX, those are the three things you should be watching every day in terms of seeing this market action. So the dollar is creeping higher. We broke down outside of this downtrend line. Same thing with yields. Again, the next resistance is right around 103.10, 103.8. Let's see if we get there and reject. Maybe we'll get a nice little relief bounce on stocks. In terms of the VIX, let's go to the VIX now. The VIX was hovering around support around 25.39. It did break above the 100-day here, as you could see. Now at 26.14. Taking a look at everything today, really the big news was Target. Target reported that they're going to have to cut their profit margins from an expected of 6%. Excuse me. I'm going to get the exact number for you. Target sees a quarter two operating margin about 2%. They saw a wide range around 5.3%. That's a big cut, mind you. That's more than a 70, maybe 65% cut in operating margins. Now, granted, we have talked about Target being cheap in terms of PE multiples. Now we could start taking a look and see how cheap Target does get. Now, Jim Cramer did put a note this morning that this is a deflationary scenario, meaning Target just had excess inventory. They basically bought the wrong stuff in a sense. As we talked about before, if you guys have been part of the morning note or aftermarket recap, I've talked about how the shift in the consumer has changed. 2020, 2021, buy a bunch of stuff at home. Again, you're getting delivered, you're getting Amazon, DoorDash, you're getting Instacart, whatever. You're getting it delivered to your home. You're not driving to go get it. Everything's Amazon Prime now, Walmart Plus, streaming at home. Now we're getting a pivot into what? From buying stuff to doing stuff. This is why airlines have increased their outlook. That's why United is going on a pilot hiring frenzy. The number one selling item in Target that was non-grocery was luggage. Do you know who did well in terms of having sales with luggage? Macy's. So again, you're seeing the pivot into the consumer. Again, just like anything else, guys, there's always shifts and cycles. It just happens that way. And then also, I want you guys to keep in mind in terms of results or news. There's no such thing as good news or bad news. It's just the reaction. There is no such thing as absolute, because even this target news, you may say it's bad news for investors, but it could be deflationary too. Now companies are going to be a little more cognizant of what they're ordering from suppliers and wholesalers in order to get the right product. Instead of getting everything because there's a broken supply chain in Asia, COVID, what have you, instead of just buying anything they can get their hands on, they're going to be a little more succinct, or they're going to be more focused on, okay, people are traveling, let's really focus on luggage, let's focus on apparel, let's focus on things that people need when they travel, right? Instead of buying stuff for the house. Now, all the stuff for the house is going to be marked down for Target. If you just bought a new home, that's a good sign. Again, no such things as absolutes. So again, you're getting a little bit of deflationary news in terms of Target, but again, the real key here is, when is the supply chain going to work? Because that's not going to last forever. You're not going to get a retailer that's going to be that perfect at defining what you want. That's very rare. That's very hard to do. And again, just like we have people traveling, that may change because oil prices are so high. So if oil prices are high and then tickets are now going higher in terms of flying, that's going to kill demand too. Everything reverts back to the mean, as we've always talked about. Reversion back to the mean. Let's take a look at S&P futures on the chart here. Broke down below 4101. That was a big level. Now you have, in the last 5 sessions, the low being 4071. Do we get there is the question. Well, very, very important to see if we can hold that level, because if we don't, we have more downside risk. You're talking about now going to 39.20 or so, 38.56. If you start breaking down, now obviously we could bounce, everything could change there, but you could see, put your alert now at 40.71. That's your key support for the past 5 sessions. So all we can go by is the most recent moves. Take a look at Nasdaq, 12,366. Again, remember we kind of tapped up here, came up here, and we broke out last Friday. Let's see if we hold that level. It's a lot more to go, but it looks like we may just hold on to that there. The 10-year yield is falling. That's good. Dollar is up. Not good. VIX kind of stabilizing. Not too crazy. Not exactly panic levels. So again, I am long. I'm expecting us to continue to go higher. Any break of 40, I believe it was. What was that level? Let me go ahead and expand this. 40.71. I'm going to take away this alert here. 40.71 would be my support. Let's see if we get there. Yesterday, futures were bright green, was sold off during the session. Maybe we get the inverse where Europe sells it and Asia sells it and America buys it. That's why every day is a new market, guys. Let's answer some questions. Good morning, Carlos. So you warned us not to get in too early for a while. Is it time to start averaging down in your favorite high growth stocks? No, not yet. Again, I do buy every week in terms of SPY-G. So I do dollar cost average. But if you're looking to actually just pick and choose, no, I'm still looking for around 42.52 to 4,300 before one more rollover. Almost there, but we're not there quite yet. So again, I expect a little bit more of a push higher. If we retest 3,800 being the low and we bounce from there, that's where I want to buy. Again, a retest would be showing that, hey, we can get there in the market. The buyers are going to defend that level. But again, it just depends. We got to see if we can get down to 3,800 and can we hold 3,800. Brino saying, would you sell high beta stocks like Space, Palantir, and buy them again when they're down when the market dips? You can if you want. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're selling here, it's because you need the money. If you're just looking to buy more in the future because you just want to, I wouldn't. Just for the simple fact that you may be profitable. If you are, they have to pay taxes. If you need the money, sell it. If you don't need it, you say you want to buy in the future, I wouldn't. Again, unless you're at a loss and then you could carry over that loss for tax purposes, maybe But that's something you want to speak to your accountant about, to be honest. But no, I don't own Space, but I do own Palantir. I'm still holding it. Are we about to drop below 400 on SPY? Let's take a look. On 400 on SPY, let me see if I can place this right here. Here is going to be our stop. Well, 400 is a heck of a trek here, but 406.96, that's the key level. If that breaks, you're pretty much shorting down to around 398. So again, that'll be the next support. So 400 isn't out of the realm of reality. I just don't think it happens today. Thoughts on crude going long, waiting for a level? Let's take a look at crude together. Well, crude is extended, granted. We know that. And crude has been consistent, but it did just reject here around 120.96. Let's see if we can get back to 115. If we can hold there, that's probably a good level to start going long crude. I don't trade crude oil futures as much because it's every month. Sure, you can roll it over, but again, it's pretty expensive in terms of the ticks. Morning, Carlos. Thoughts on SPY or Qs? I do own Q calls. Obviously, now we're down, but we are holding some key levels of support here. The question is, do we get lower or can we stabilize? The target news is not helping. The dollar falling is not helping, and Bitcoin falling is not helping. So it really is the point of what to expect as we're going. Do the shorts close here? Do they take profits? Do we continue lower? I mean, shoot, looking at the dollar, looks like it's stabilizing a little bit. Looking at, let's see, T and X, you could see that yields are falling. So that's also some good news. Again, if we do get yields to fall a little more, I expect stocks to bounce, but you need to get above 4101 on S&P, so around 4100 SPY. Good morning, Carlos. How come it's bad that the dollar is going up? The dollar going up isn't bad for you and I per se if we're tourists or if we're traveling, right? But if you're a multinational company like an Apple or Google or whoever, and you take currency, the local currency, let's say you have a store in Mexico, and they take their money in pesos. In order to bring that back to the States and put it on your balance sheet, you got to convert it to dollars. That means it takes more pesos in order to equal your dollars. That's what we call foreign currency slips or headwinds when corporations talk about it. So no, it's not a good thing for global companies. Not the best. Do you think NEO will break 20 this week? NEO did have a nice spike yesterday in terms of what happened with China as they're opening up. We're getting a lot less regulation. The Chinese government is, I guess, working with Didi or what have you, letting them stay on. NEO looks good here short term. You could say the same thing about Alibaba as well. Chinese companies are beaten down. Would there be dip buyers? Sure. The problem is that Alibaba, I had the 100 calls yesterday. It hit 102 yesterday. I had the 100 calls last week. I was just a week early and it hit 102.42 yesterday. I would have been in the money. Very tough to trade these Chinese companies, even with great volume and a great chart. Just didn't work out. But Alibaba, for example, and NEO, I think they do go higher. To get to 20 on NEO, sure. I think we get there. You have the 20-day move, the 100-day moving average at 20.33. So that would be my target if you're short term on NEO. If you get the continuation, right now we're below 19. Thoughts on Amazon? Yeah, Amazon 130 calls. Yeah, I have the Amazon 130 calls. As you know, we had that split. We just retested now the 100-day moving average, which we got, I believe, yesterday. So that's been holding up. Again, the target news is going to hurt the staples. It's going to hurt the defensives for now. Now, the question is, do we price that in? Do we get this bounce on Amazon? Now that we have the stock split, the volume was very strong. I'm holding on to it. I remember specifically last week when I had some AMD calls. I believe it was on a Wednesday. I think it was down like 65, 60, I think 70%, and it turned around the next day. You got to see how the movie ends, especially when it comes to momentum. Put your alerts, but again, you just have to wait this out. Tesla buy level. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla, the issue is that you're going to get a lot of headlines in terms of the Twitter stuff and Elon. So in regards to Tesla, you do have an inverse head and shoulder. We're back to testing that neckline. 690.40. If you expect this to hold up, 690.40 is a buy level. Would I want to buy Tesla here? There's just too much going on in terms of the Elon and Twitter stuff. So no, I wouldn't want to buy here. I do own it with SpyG and I buy that every week. It has it part of the ETF. But I don't see how Tesla does not go to 500 if the market doesn't continue to go down. Again, if we get to 3,800, Tesla's going to hit 500. That's the thing. So I would just wait it out. Honestly, on Tesla, you could probably get a better price. So I like 500. 500 being Tesla. If they could continue that kind of growth, but Tesla get mixed signals, man. Are they hiring people? Are they cutting people? It's weird. It's weird right now. It's not Tesla right now is not as in a sense as attractive as it once was. Tesla in a growth market with lower interest rates, sure. But right now, Tesla, especially what you're paying for growth, sure, you're getting paying a premium. But again, they're very tied to the consumer. We just saw with Target. People are not, again, the inventories are going higher. People are doing stuff, not buying stuff. We just talked about that. Could Tesla fall for that? Is Tesla immune to any kind of consumer cycles? You get a recession, Tesla's going to get hit. They're a cyclical. Amazon's going to get hit. They're a cyclical. They're just like a store. So I think 500 would be something to watch for. I wouldn't want to buy here. No. You're going to have to stay patient just a little bit longer. I know we've had some nice pushes, don't get me wrong, great for trading, but right now for buying stocks, you're just not quite there yet. So I wouldn't be getting too excited yet. Have a great rest of your day, guys. I will catch you guys later for the aftermarket recap. Good to be back. Hope everyone had a nice weekend, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.